Hey, how's it going, guys? We're just working on some client stuff. This was the stuff we were working on last week, I think it was. And we're see if we can wrap up some of this. We're gonna be doing the line art here for these four. We started this one over here on the far left. Let me see if I can pull that up real quick for you. And it's just a little bit more simple. Might be a little hard to see, but we'll hopefully add some flat colors to that too. This stuff in here, it's a little bit more like a play on here, where it's a little bit more cleaner and more open. We're going to let a lot of the work be done with the coloring. And this one too, I was going to stream. I was deciding if I was going to, so I jumped on this before. I was going to do it with you guys, but here's the thumbnail here. Drop some opacity on there, break up the shapes a bit, and then now we're going to get in there and do some tight line art. Ben, how's it going? Late stream, yeah, I know. I'm still trying to test out what hours and what days work to do this best with. So appreciate you guys leaving comments and popping in. Caesar, you're welcome. It's been a while. Usually don't have to be up at 3 a.m. Wow. It is 9:30 p.m. on my end. Where are you on? In Europe? Deviant, welcome. I was gonna say that. Oh, yeah. Hey, how's it going? The name just clicked in. I'm like, yeah, that avatar looks familiar. I'm like, did I draw that? Well, welcome, welcome. Good to see you here. Big arms? Absolutely. That's the only way to draw people, right? Big, huge arms. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, okay. So I always like to do this in the beginning of the updates because people that rewatch these streams, they don't always, they hop around. Maybe they get to see some cool stuff in the beginning. Maybe not. Troy, how you doing? How's it going, man? Good to see you here. So I made a post here. I'll show you guys. And again, we're just gonna. I apologize every time I try to plug Patreon. You guys do not need to back me there, but those that do, I really appreciate it. Goes towards getting a lot of these things off the ground, and it's just good support, and I appreciate it. So this week, I've been messing around with traditional, like legit traditional stuff. A couple brush pens, that kind of stuff, and it is very unwieldy, I'd like to say, and it's building my confidence up and stuff, and it just feels a little bit refreshing. So I'd sketch something like this and use some very quick screen tone effects from Clip Studio. And I don't know how well these are going to actually show up on stream. It might get pixelated for you. But anyway, so there's this one. And again, like I say, I was just fiddling around with just texture. Put up a bunch of these. And then I'm going to get to why I'm talking about it. Here, we'll click on it so you get a nice bigger picture. No, I guess it just takes you right to Instagram. Okay. Anyway, this was like a monster, dude. I was just trying to figure out again some more stuff. It's really this stuff down here, this really cool dry brush effect. Really dig that. Then here, tried to, in a lot of the process here, again, you're going to hear me say Patreon a lot here, so if that bothers you, we'll get over it quick. But this one follows a lot of the normal method, that, and you'll see me working in that today, where we get the line art, and then we're just doing line weights, and then just trying to fiddle around with some rendering. Somebody had reached out to me, an artist that I really look up to, and he was sort of giving me some pointers and things I wasn't putting together. And I'd already seen them, and I kind of liked it. And a lot of it was, the big one was John Romita Jr. You guys know I've talked about him a bunch of times, and the way he was doing rendering, started to fiddle a bit more with that. So we're going here, and you can kind of see the Romita, I call it Romita, kind of rendering here, and it really starts to play with the big, beefy dudes that I like to draw. And it's all mostly tests, okay? So that's why you're going to see like a lot of this open stuff. And they're taken with my cell phone. These are usually done at work, like on lunch or a quick break, like 20 minutes maybe at most. Just hammering something quick just to get a feeling of the tools. And then this one I did today, and this was sort of something I made a very small post on Patreon that'll be posted tomorrow. And it's a lot of the process stuff too. Like, and I mean, it's super sketchy stuff. And then we get the ink spilled on top. But if you guys remember this guy, I'm going to be renaming him and the book. This used to be Castle Dracula. You guys, I talk a little bit more in depth about it on Patreon at the post tomorrow. But just know that we're going forward. This is the next, my first, I'll say, comic that I'll be making this year. And most likely be black and white, but I've got some plans. I made a post today on Twitter asking some people about like some Comicsgate kind of stuff. And a lot of people reached out about Indiegogo and a lot of how that works. So I might be shifting in that direction, and that might mean like a color book or something like that. But if that doesn't work out, needless to say, this rough kind of sketchy style here. I'm not able to do digitally yet. I'll see if I can get there, but it does feel real refreshing to just sit down with like a brush, on paper and get that stuff going. And so we'll see where that's going. But I just wanted to update you guys for those of you that aren't following me on social media or just checking this stuff on other stuff. But really digging the way this is going. Anyway, like I was saying, this was Castle Dracula, making a little bit of adjustment to the plot and the story there. And originally when we had done this, I was thinking of doing like a trade paperback. Here, I'll just actually close all this here. Trade paperback, but it's being a little aggressive, especially with the free time that I don't have that I used to have when I could have been making comics. And I wasn't. I was doing other freelance kind of gigs. So it'll be a smaller one, maybe release them by issue, or maybe just one and done issues. Like, if I feel like doing one issue and then that's it for the project, cool. If I want to do more, do more. But no pressure is the idea with that. Let me catch up with you guys. What do we got here? Oh, you love in Australia. Ooh, that's nice. Troy's still working on the movies. I like that, man. Good for you, buddy. Oh, cool. Glad to hear it. Okay, so just a little, we're going to draw here, but I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the settings that I adjusted. And again, if you guys have been watching the last stream and stuff like that I posted, I already talked about this, but something you guys might dig, you might want to do, especially if you're doing, or if you like working 11 by 17, is I adjusted the zoom levels here in Clip Studio, so they mimic more in line with as if I was working traditional. I'm trying to like meld the two a little bit more. The inky stuff that I just showed you guys, like I'm really falling in love with that lately. There's like a freedom to it. It is stressful and less stressful because I don't consider myself an inker. So I'm learning how to hold a pen properly, I guess, and that kind of stuff. But what I did is I'm working on the Cintiq here. It's the old school 21-inch. Let me just get this finger in here. And what I did is I just grabbed an 11 by 17 Bristol board and slapped it on my Cintiq here. So it zoomed in perfectly as if I was drawing on an artboard. And I'm able to zoom in one more, not that far. I don't want to go further than this because we start getting needlessly stuck in that digital detail zone that happens. You zoom out once, this is what the printed book would look like. Right, printed page. So now when I zoom out, or when I usually have like a second monitor going, I could see this, and I could see, what it'll look like printed. So again, with those details, if things are getting lost. And then one more, this is mostly just for composition. So I can quickly look at, like, it's a little bit bigger than I would make a thumbnail for sure, but, you guys get the gist. Anyway, I recommend doing that if you guys have, I'd argue if you have a Cintiq, it's probably a really good idea. I don't know how that would, if you're using an Intuos, you might be able to just grab like artboard or something and put it up to your monitor. That could probably work. I think this guy, I don't know if this guy's got fingers here, if he had gloves. Ben, would you ever have interest in taking on an assistant to help with comic stuff? Give me some more details on that, and then I could give you a better answer, I think. Trying to get these hands down. Maybe tricky little guys. On Twitter today, I made I'd consider it a saucy tweet, but it's not. It's just a regular whatever. But since deciding to go forward here with the previously called Castle Dracula book, and the consideration of possibly attempting to do crowdfunding for the first time, I want to learn at least how that whole process works, so I can try to fail fast with it. If I don't fail fast, or if I don't fail at all, that's not the goal. I'm not going in there to try to like just make it a waste of time. but there's so much to learn in your first attempts with things, and I just want to kind of go in there and have it beat me up and try to learn as quick as I can. So I thought I'd just reach out. There's a lot of people that follow me too that are, I guess you'd call them Comicsgate supporters and stuff. And I had made a tweet just asking people that are part of that if they could offer any links or articles or anything written by Comicsgate people that are having success on these, like Indiegogo and Kickstarter platforms. I'm a big believer of, asking people that are successful in something you want to start attempting and learning from them, is learning what you think works for you. And, as soon as you put the hashtag Comicsgate, you start getting some pretty interesting replies. But to my surprise, a little bit. Most of the people that I know, that I know are in that. They're pretty cool people. But anyway, to my surprise, I got it's still going. My Twitter right now, it's still got like 20 plus notifications that I got to check out. So many people willing to share information and like good information too, not just opinion stuff, I suppose. Like facts with math and numbers. I haven't had a spreadsheet yet, but I'm sure it exists. And it was actually, I don't know, it was refreshing. I was having a little bit of a discussion with people over Twitter. Just opinions and ideas. And what I thought was actually pretty interesting is, I've been on Twitter since, oh my God, I don't know, almost near the beginning. And I don't think I've talked about as much comics process and getting your stuff worked on and opportunity and stuff as I did today. And that's very weird. I found it very weird anyway. It was in a place I didn't think I'd find it. Like, I didn't expect it, I should say. Might be a better way. 1 second, I gotta let my cat out. You wanna go inside? Okay. Yeah. So I'd heard a lot of people in that group just spreading a lot of awareness and just offering some really cool stuff. So all that's to say is I feel like I met a lot of actual comic book creators that are actively trying, and I haven't had that. And that's not a knock to anybody in here or anything, but I haven't had that kind of interaction, like as fast as it was happening. And to be fair, maybe I'm just following the wrong groups, or there just happened to be the right people at the right time online when I was, that kind of thing. But yeah, it's all been pretty good. So well, I guess my little hot take from all of that is, if you guys are interested in checking out or having your book possibly crowdfunded or all that, there's obviously a whole bunch of resources out there. But I recommend just asking that question, asking for some help or some opinions, some thoughts, and direct it towards the Comicsgate community and see if you got the great reply that I did today. I hope you do. This isn't like a recruitment video or anything like that. I'm just trying to share the love here that I got today, which is really cool. I was getting direct messages from people. A few of them that I've obviously talked to a lot of you guys before. Some of these people I've never even met, and just the openness was actually refreshing. It's actually very refreshing. Let's catch up with you guys, and thanks everybody for watching. If you're new to this stream, this is very like off the cuff tonight. But normally the way I used to do this, and eventually we'll get back to it, is I like to stream not only selfishly for me because it gives me a distraction while I'm working, but I like to stream for you guys too. So if you guys have questions about drawing or opinions or I don't know, that kind of stuff, feel free to jam them in the chat. And like I said before, your question might be asked by somebody watching this at a later time that isn't able to ask that question. So throw them out there if you got them. Back to Ben's question here, just because I rambled like usual. He was saying, would you ever have interest in taking on an assistant? Oh, taking on an assistant to help. Sorry, I misread that. I thought you were asking about becoming an assistant to help people with their comic stuff. And he's saying, I suppose specifically if you were to manage a crowdfunding thing, it would probably you'd need help. You're obviously skilled enough to do all the work yourself, but that would be exhausting, surely. Well, thank you, Ben, for saying that. And I assume it is. And that's part of why I want to jump into it. One of the things I'll say is, yeah, PJ, I am left-handed. My daughter and I are having a discussion about your manga studio layout. Yes, I'm totally left-handed. I'm trying to minimize everything as much as I can. I've got way too many brushes. I've seen a lot of people do it other ways. My auto actions, this has been a new adjustment. I open it here and now I have it so I can just click it and do it. I'm trying to get away from... I sort of mirror what's going on here with my iPad Pro, which I don't use that much, but trying to see if I can get away from the keyboard as much as I can. Dual property doesn't even really need to be here. It could actually be like this, but actually let's shrink it just so I got all my stuff in there. Should probably go up here a bit. Anyway, yeah, so we got all that. When we color, we got all the good stuff over here, and then I like to see all my layers. I know some people like to hide that stuff, but yeah, try to keep it open. And up here too, I'm trying to put a lot of stuff. This is probably off stream if you guys can't even see up top here. Let me see if I can move this down. Actually, here, let me minimize this. Just so you guys can see what the hell I'm looking at up at the top here. It's getting cut off because of my non-HD Cintiq. Up at the top here, you can like change and add all this stuff. Do you guys know the one I always use here is that flip thing? It's always good. That's just to, if you want to press tab on your keyboard, it just gets rid of everything. It's nice and easy. And I don't know what the hell this one is. Reset, rotate. Oh, okay, yeah. Because sometimes you can zoom in and out and that'll reset it. This one I just started adding, where I can start rotating because I'm trying to add a little bit of rendering in different work, not necessarily this one, but just to help with my wrist. I'm starting to notice that the pain's coming back. But anyway, yeah, the assistant stuff. Yeah, you know what? I mean, I don't think it would hurt to have somebody to help for sure. But again, I have an expectation of what it could be. You know, like nothing could happen from it. I could just get like a little interest in the project, all that kind of stuff. I feel like help would be something that would happen if you had expectations of where you were going with it. Like if this was my second attempt, then based off the first one, I could expect this or that. If I'm monitoring the crowdfunding as it's going, I could notice, oh geez, maybe this is doing a lot bigger than I thought it would do, and then I could start, you know, looking around for some help. And I don't even know exactly what the help would be just yet. Packing and shipping. I'll be honest, I was talking to somebody else today from the Comicsgate community, and you know, I was just opening up. I was just being awesome, like kind of fearful of it. It seems like it's a lot of effort and work. Not that it's not worth it. You know, treating it like it's a small business or something like that. You got to work, but it's all the unknowns that are scary, like they usually are for most people. And it's trying to find a way to push through that, right? Get out there and just go out there and fail with the intent to learn. It's probably a good way to go. So we'll see. I don't know who the hell I would request to get help from. You know, my fiance or my brother or my niece. Those are the quick people that I would ask, like the people that I actually know. There's not too many artists that I hang out with, to be honest with you. But yeah, it's totally something. I think that makes sense because I've seen people like I think Jake Parker. I followed him. Who else was I looking at? Damn, I always forget his name and I always feel bad about it. God. And I don't mean disrespect from it either. What is his name? He did Sithra, those books. I haven't watched really a lot of his stuff in a long time. I don't even know if he still streams. Jason Brubaker, I think it was. That's it. And Tyler James, I know he's posted a few things, and you're seeing like crates of books and stuff that you got to pack and all that. And I mean, to be fair, if your problem is you got to pack a whole bunch of comics, awesome. You know what I mean? But yes, since I've never done that before, it's gonna be spicy. But we'll see how it goes. I don't know. We'll see, right? What's the point if you're gonna try and learn something from it, right? May as well do it. Okay, does this go to the knee? No. We're going to do some inking in a second here. Again, if you're new, what I'm doing here is the tight line art, I call it. And then we're going to add rendering after. This just makes it a little bit easier to work. I'm trying to bring this workflow here into my traditional stuff too, with the ink brush and everything getting a little wonky with that. I'm still trying to figure out how we can bring that back and forth, but we're getting there. All right, so there's this one. Where was the inks? Yeah, okay, so what was my contour layer? It was size 5. So go here, go to our contour layer. We're going to hit 5. This is just a quick way to get your ink started. And I'm going to duplicate that layer. Or that group, I should say. I don't know what's in this one. Let's get rid of that. Rename this one inks. Merge everything together. Turn it into line art. Again, I know I always repeat myself with this because I never knew who's watching. What I just did there, real quick, Clip Studio does it super fast, is I can just turn my line art any color I want now. This is great for coloring, and it just reduces file size too. If you save it independently, I'm not, right? Like everything's on the same layer, so it's probably not even worth it to do. Okay. Troy saying, I noticed John's style used to be tight, lots of blacks, now it's more looser and spot black, sort of like Doug Tenaple in his work. Yeah, big fan of Doug. Honestly, it was looking at Daniel Warren Johnson lately, the way he just uses the brush. And I'm never, like I say, I'm not used to using brushes at all. Everything's digital for me. But, and I've let a lot of people know this, because I try to be open with this, because if I'm experiencing it, I imagine there's other people experiencing it. We're going to zoom in a little bit for the inks on this one. No, let's zoom out. Discipline. Is if I'm going through something, that means other people are going through it. And just the whole style thing is, as silly as it is, I just sort of feeling like I'm losing my voice in it. And I feel like your art identity is so tied in with what your art looks like, that when you start questioning your art style and all that, it's kind of like, oh, okay, how deep is this going? And for me, a lot of it came back down to, why am I drawing? What am I doing? Am I doing comics because that's a style? Am I just doing pinups? All these crazy kind of things, right? I should say too, just so you guys know, the stuff that I was showing you with the brush kind of stuff, that is a much more ink heavy style. The one I'm doing for this, I'm trying to be, let me just go back and forth. It's open, right? Like there's a lot of room for color here. I want it to be a little bit more easier to see. I don't want to focus on complex rendering or anything. And not to hide everything behind you guys, but I don't know if I can talk about what this is necessarily, besides showing just the artwork with you guys. But it should be soon. And we can talk about a little bit more freely. I can say it's for a Kickstarter, and it's not a comic book. It's got comic-related themes in it. There might be some pages that I'll be doing. Anyway, yeah, so I was looking at brushwork and stuff, and all the Kirby that I've been looking at lately. It's very expressive, and it's very expressive, and I feel like it takes a lot of balls to draw that way. So usually at work or on my lunch break, I don't have access to digital tools, right? So I just get like analog brushes and stuff like that. So I was able to use that as a testing ground to sort of fiddle around with the brushes and do all that. And I normally usually ink and stuff like that at work anyway, just to warm up for the day and get the creative juices going. But yeah, something just started clicking, and I started looking at stuff and putting it together. And I got a Pentel Pocket brush pen, like this big, longer one. The one I had was like one of these kind of guys, and it has like the little thing here. It's a smaller one. The one I have now, how does it look? It's like I think it goes up like this or something like that. More like a stylus, but this is like all ink, and it's got like a longer tip on the end of it too. What's cool about it is like, you know, you can make big fat brush strokes, and when it's running out of ink, it starts getting this real nice dry brush look, right? And I feel like I was just getting the energy in there because I wasn't really worried about, like, I'm not making a comic page with this or anything, right? It's just get it in there, get a drawing done. You don't got time, it's a break, you know? And thankfully, and I appreciate you guys, those of you that do dig it, you guys have been letting me know big time. A lot of interaction and support and engagement, really, with you guys and Instagram and Twitter. It's been awesome. And so what I'm doing is I'm just going to see. Okay, well, let's push this further. Let's make a comic with this. And it's super exciting, man. Because I don't know how the hell I'm going to draw buildings and stuff. And to be fair, I'm cheating it a bit. I'm doing monsters and a lot of action, right? You guys know what I like to draw. So, and it's like medieval kind of stuff. I'm not going to draw a horse because I don't like drawing horses. But, well, did I put black here? But I get to just draw what I want, right? So I can push myself a bit, and then at the same time, just add a little bit of creative exploration and stuff. But anyway, that's kind of, I'm just rambling in with a little bit of that stuff. Hey, Mom, how's it going? Welcome. Lewis, welcome. Alright, so like I say, this is pretty much done. Just putting a little bit of shadow in here. Most of the stuff will be done with color. This is starting to look like it's a little bit off-centered, so I whited them out, but I'm going to put those lines back in. Oops. Just suck that in a little bit. And we got to add some cool debris, because that makes it more action-y. Cool. I wanted to do this one right away. Actually, let's put some shadow in here. Screw this. Just to sink that in a bit. I wanted to do this one first, because the other two, they're not really as action-heavy. We got to have some action. That's how you warm up, man. Alright, we're going to save that. And I'm going to merge everything. Press our magic button. And go save as. Put color. Boom. Okay, that one's done. On to the next one. You can do the horse? Yeah, well, you draw animals way better than I draw them. I'll have to start commissioning you to draw all the animals in my comics. Does that sound good? Anything with those, I'm gonna say inverted knees, but animal knees, I'm not a fan. Not a fan. Probably means I need to spend more time drawing them, doesn't it? Okay. We're gonna grab the next one. Now I always say her name wrong. Saudade. Saudade. I don't know. I can never say her name right at all. New, what do we got? 11 by 17. Bang. Boom, boom, boom. Transform. Let's bring this down. And because I'm interested here, and we talked about Comicsgate, or I did anyway. Those of you that are in the chat, what are you guys' opinions and thoughts on Comicsgate? At least what you know. Or what you think you know. Just curious. just to have a discussion, I suppose. I'm not looking for, I don't say not necessarily hate. If you got an opinion, you got an opinion. I feel like it's kind of cooled down a little bit. I remember maybe a year ago or 2 years ago. Man, if you even brought that up, and it's still like that now. If you bring it up, you get some interesting stuff happening. Some creative people leaving comments or whatever. Make a fursona, yeah. I'm so bad with drawing furries. I struggle. I try, but I just can't do it. I need to get better at drawing. Why do I have? Okay, we got that one. Little lifeless marker. Why would I have? That's weird. My brushes look like they're renamed to something else. Prints open. There she is. Oh, how long has I been? How long have I been muted? How the hell did I even turn that off? That's weird. I muted it on OBS. I don't know how that happened. Weird. Actually, let me see something here. Let's see if one of my... Oh, that's not going to work. Okay. Well, thanks for letting me know. How far back have you guys not heard me talk? Or if you guys remember the last thing I said, just let me know. I'll see if I can catch back up. Alright, I like her arm like that. It's keeping it more towards the sketch that I had. We'll give her a big hand here. Luce is saying they put their books through Indiegogo. Yeah, that's what it seems like to me. And again, I don't know. This is why I need to research more on it. I don't know if Indiegogo, there's a reason for that over Kickstarter. So just more things. 15 minutes. Did I reply to any of the things you said? Deviant and Delighted, you asked if there was going to be a print. Did I respond to you on that? I didn't hear you since explaining how I draw Furies. Okay. You guys hear me talking about Comicsgate? No? This is great. Nothing like streaming and talking to people and being muted. It's fantastic. Alright, let's get her costume on her here. So she's got this really cool, I think it's cool anyway. It's like a headband thingy majiggy. And then we got this big dome. And of course it's got like some Magneto looking stuff on it. Gotta put those gemstones in there. Get some of this stuff going. We gotta draw our face here too. I think we're gonna do something like that. Hey, Pillowhead, welcome. Yeah, it doesn't seem like yeah, I don't think you guys know when the last thing or what the hell I was talking about before, so we'll continue on and just move on. But yeah, the main thing I was just asking about what's that? It's better than not being muted and having nobody listen. I hear you on that. I'm gonna go a little smaller here. No, the thing I was just asking in general was for those of you that are following or have been following Kickstarter, not Kickstarter, sorry, Comicsgate, just your opinions and thoughts, if you even had any. And if you don't, that's cool too. I'm just curious to people's feelings and stuff towards maybe that group or just comics groups in general. Alright, she got big old lips and then and some big old boobies. Let's put those on there. Alright, so this one's gonna kind of. I know that looks weird. I'll fix it in a second. Boobs. They don't go that way. I just wanted to know where the muscle was kind of going. Because she's got a corset on. Actually, I don't. Hold on. I'm going to put the corset on first here. Right? So it's tight. And then we're going up here. This is clothing we're drawing here. So it's going to go around to her ribs. All right. It's going to push these guys up. Like that. There, that feels better. And then we would get her peck in here with her shoulder. I think I might open her mouth here. I don't know if I like it closed like that. Alright, just gonna get some more shapes going. Shapes. Okay, so we go in here. Got a little armpit action. There's that. So we got some. I don't think we're gonna draw this in here, but sometimes I'll just put the muscle in there. Let's get that tricep. Keeman, my man, welcome. Alright, we'll go here. Now she's got some. What are her hands? The reference I have here is not very Jesus Christ. Jesus. All right, let me see something here. Thank you guys for letting me know. I think I may have a button on my Cintiq that's doing it. Give me a second. I'm just going to go over here, and if I'm popping in and out, that's why. We're going to get to the bottom of this nonsense. All right, let's take a look. Weird. Okay, so it's none of those. What else have I been doing? Oh, is it this button up here? No. I don't think there's anything that I'm pressing. Got all these technical snafus, while we're live. I got it open on the side here so I can kind of see, like, I'll try to keep an eye on it. Let me minimize this here. I'm going to keep OBS open. Whoops. Sorry, guys, 1 second. So I can see your chat. Okay. I'm going to keep an eye on it. Like I say, if something happens and I'm muted all of a sudden, maybe I can realize what I had clicked. Let's see what we got here. It's got to be bound to a hotkey. I can't imagine just like times out. My new name is Joshua. Okay. All right, well, you guys, I'm going to open it up to you guys. What do you guys want to talk about? Let's get some chit-chat going. I'm running out of stuff to say. I'll make a new layer, and we're going to draw in white. We're going to get some costume elements here. So, and she's also got like this weird collar looking thing. Get some spikes on it. And this all comes down here like that. Get some spikes. So looks like an angry pope. Oh, because of the hat. Hey, no problem, Lewis. Thanks for popping in, brother. She is far from the pope as you could imagine. All right, get a nice straight line in there. Bring that back. All right, let's get our reference back here. Where was it? No, wrong hand. That's the hand. That's the one. All right, get a little wrist action. Bring that back. Get some dainty fingers in there. Those points. Actually, wait. Maybe it was this button. Let's see. No. It's like, now I just want to find this damn button. What is that better? Yeah, I think that's better. What's that? You finished a big reference sheet for your mascot right now and making body biography for one of my characters at school. Sick. That sounds pretty fun. It's definitely the hat. It's 100% the hat. Wait till we get to inking and stuff. Maybe it won't look as popish. It's been a while since we talked about manga. Have you managed to find any time to check any out? No. As sad as it is, I haven't really been reading much comics. I'm trying to fix that now. I was telling my fiance today, I had a discussion at work, and it's just something I've been thinking about. I've been playing a lot of like solo board games and stuff like that. A lot of people I know, they don't really care about playing board games. I found them to be kind of fun, refreshing, to get away from the computer. Like big, chunky games too, right? Like stuff that you need to spend weeks playing, leveling up your characters like an RPG, and like all kinds of cool stuff. But it's super expensive, and just now that my son's here and kind of like where I want to go moving forward here, like I've messed around enough for a little while. It's time to get back to it. Saying all that is I was kind of putting comics especially on the back burner. So I will be checking out more manga and more comics, 100%. I haven't watched anything. Watching like anime and stuff, excuse me, that no, I haven't really. And I appreciate everybody hooking me up. But watching a lot of things. I don't watch too much stuff, like even movies, as much as I think I should. But there's always something else to do, if that makes sense. All right. But with the, I'll call it the Castle Dracula. Like I said earlier, I'm gonna be changing the name. That we're going to be. I'm trying to broaden my scope a little bit. And since I'm working organically with rulers again, and possibly not even a lot of rulers, I want to get better with the brush. So I'm forcing myself to draw like Kirby kind of tech with manga looking tech in, imagine Castlevania, like that world mixed with something else. A little bit more lighthearted and actiony as opposed to like the dark gothic stuff. I'm gonna try to have a mix in there with some tech for sure, but nothing over the top. So I'll be looking at manga for that because they always draw the best uh, real dirty tech, I'll say, as opposed to like Kirby over the top nonsense that just looks great. It's gonna be so fun when your son is old enough to start playing those types of games with you. Yeah, well that's the thing. One of the things I was thinking of doing, or that I'm pretty committed to, because I don't have a lot of space here at home, and I'm trying to maximize what I have so we get more playing area for him or whatever. I'm like looking to just sort of like purge all that stuff out of my, I'll say out of my life, I guess. Just really get back to the things that matter. Not that enjoying some free time and some games is a bad thing or anything. But I don't know. I feel like now that I'm a papa, I want him to. I don't know if I want to say just be proud of me, but one things that comics has given me, in its limited way, is independence. I suppose like it's a different thing. Not a lot of people draw comics. Like I'll go to parties and stuff, and a lot of people, they do men kind of things, factories, engineering, that kind of stuff. And when you're a cartoonist or a storyteller, whatever you want to call yourself, it's a unique thing. So I don't necessarily want him to be an artist or a cartoonist or anything like that, but if I can show him that there's options and that it's okay to, maybe be more entrepreneurial, that's what I'm more interested in. The game stuff's cool. I always want to play games and stuff. That'll never go away. But just trying to make a little bit more of an active kind of thing, I should say. If that makes any sense to you guys. Vinland Saga. I saw that actually many years ago at the bookstore. It looked pretty cool. It looked like a Western kind of manga. Is that right? Well, thank you, Deviant. I appreciate that. Maybe he'll be the first family member to actually read comics that I make. Ooh. Isn't that a sting, eh? For all the artists in the room? How many of you guys have your family actually actively want to look at your art? Because I don't think I have anybody really in my family. April, you're probably the same. I assume. It's like people are, oh, you made a comic? Oh, can I read that? Nah, it doesn't happen. Just my luck, he'll be into sports and all that stuff. And I'm like, oh, God. I'm going to try to give him options, yeah. I'll do my best. At least that's the attempt. Once he gets older and then real life kicks in, I'm like, ooh, you know what? You should probably look into being an engineer. You won't have to struggle like artists. I assume. I don't even know if that's true. I had an idea for a collaboration. We can talk about it if you finish the stream. If you want, send me a message, but I'll reply tomorrow. When I'm done streaming here, probably in like another half hour, I'm just going straight to bed. But yeah, I'll get back to you. Let me know. That does sound real slick, Ben. That's what it was. It was the Viking stuff. You're right. Well, at least your mom. Well, yeah, I guess that's what moms do. That's great, dear. If sarcasm reached all the way through the internet, eh? Damn. Internet is strong. Yeah, women are another thing I gotta draw more of. Just can't draw. You guys are complicated. You guys need more muscles like dudes. Dudes are so much easier. Muscles you can just sort of BS your way. The ladies, ugh, so much more work. I envy like a lot of male artists that can draw good looking women. How's that arm? Oh, one sec. Time for a cat to leave. Okay. Tatterlines banish the Pope. Okay, good. Although, like, I'm kind of looking at it off screen here, and I'm like, all right, well, this arm here, I don't know if that looks connected. You know, like I know she's wearing the corset, but maybe this is gonna come out more like that, or remove this, and maybe remove that. Move the armpit over a little bit more. Yeah, I think we'll just leave it with that. We're not gonna try with that. Ben, do you mind if I share a link to a panel I found from the manga? It's goddamn beautiful. Yeah, sure, go ahead. I don't know if it'll if you'll be able to post it in the stream, but knock yourself out, brother. Okay. Thank you, Cookie. I will check it out after. Muchos apreciar. Okay, what are we doing here? We don't need that. Don't need that. Cool, 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 cool. I found the mute button. Really? You guys can't hear me? Not the space button. Was one of these? No? I have no idea what's going on. Damn it. Oh, trolling. Okay, cool. I can never figure that out when you guys start doing that. Okay. Trying to speed this up here. We got this one, and then another chick to draw, and then then it's just on the colors. Oh, we can hear you, but it muted when you mention a cat. When I mention a cat, really? Let me see here. Let me just move over here. Or maybe it's the cable. Maybe there's like a button over here. Oh, no, I might have muted it. Yeah, okay, no, sorry. Whenever I open the door, that one was me, yeah. Here, watch, I'll do it right now. Yeah, I just do that when I open it. Fiance's watching TV. Don't you guys get blasted with it. Hey, Michael, how's it going, man? Life and family is good. How about you? I'm trying to get some conversation going about Comicsgate, but nobody's talking about it, which leads me to believe that the people that are in here either A, don't care, B, what is it? It's died down a bit, or most likely just don't care. And I'm just interested in talking to just to get conversation going. Or if you guys got anything else you wanted to talk about. More than game. Okay, so let's make sure all the lines are tight here. We're going to get the contour layer on here. We're going to ink this puppy up. Check all the lines. Yeah. Good. Okay, magical wand. Make my monster grow. It's in there. Boom, go there. Change that to 5. Sweet. We're going to make one more layer. So I had like these weird designs on her pants before. Yeah, that'll work. And I think they're just like S shapes and stuff. There's like the weirdest design on a dress. Go there. Good. Let's clean this up. Yeah, no, it's weird. Nobody is talking about nobody is comics, or nobody is comics. Nobody's talking about comics. I'm regurgitating what I talked about earlier, Michael, but I'm glad you're here too. It's been so long. Your art's getting so much better, dude. I'm happy for you to see you growing and you're still trucking along, even after all these years. Warms my heart. But yeah, I had just asked a question on Twitter. You may have seen it, and I was getting so many warm responses from specifically Comicsgate because I was actually asking people who consider themselves part of that collective, I guess. Just some thoughts and tips and tricks, I guess, for what they would consider what you would need to do to, if you wanted to attempt crowdfunding. Just some stuff that might be cool to try in there. So it was nice. I wasn't expecting such an outpouring. Not that I was going into it expecting hate and all these other things like that. Usually that stuff's usually pretty blown out. Mr. Hill, welcome. Good to see you in here, my man. You want to talk about somebody kicking out cool artwork? Comics hate has died down a bit, but Ethan is still heavy in kayfabe. 100%, man. I saw like I was listening to a bunch of people talking about drama, and I don't really want to talk about the drama part of stuff, but I know it kind of comes hand in hand with this stuff. But with Doug TenNapel and all these people, and it sounded like, because I wasn't really paying attention for a while, it was like all these people were all of a sudden, it was like, I don't want to say imploding because that wasn't it, but it was all over the place a little bit, as opposed to the last time I had kind of looked into it, and it wasn't like nearly what it was. So I was watching some videos, and I mean, they're older videos. I think it was like a year ago or something. But it's just interesting. Oh no, no, I like yeah. There's no pressure for people to talk about stuff. I was just saying if you guys had anything to talk about, it's cool. I mean, I'm just rambling my head off right now. Ben made a comment how he felt that forcing diversity just for the sake of it is pretty shallow. I don't mind having people of color or specific sexual preference, but forcing them into a story when they wouldn't make. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that too. Speaking of comics, I saw your Castlevania piece. Are you still going to? Yeah, dude. I'm starting that this month. I just have a little bit of client work here to sort of wrap up, and I'm diving into it. And that ties into what I was sort of talking about with the crowdfunding. Originally, like I'm just messing around with traditional tools here to sort of refine my style. Also, I don't want to say refine it because I feel pretty confident lately. We're like back to the way I used to feel, which is great. There's a while there I was feeling, I don't want to say depressed because I don't think I was. And when I say I think I was, I feel like it's kind of a little bit of disrespect, perhaps, to people that actually have it. Because I was aware of it and I could adjust it. I didn't want to stay in it, kind of thing. But there's a lot of things tying my identity to what I was even drawing. Why was I even drawing? That's the big question, the why. My why got lost a while ago. And especially once I was told, I wouldn't say told, that makes it sound whatever. Once I was told that I'd be having a baby, things really got spicy. Not in a bad way, just more like, okay, shit's real now. And then other priorities kind of took over. And then where I was headed with this stuff kind of drifted because, like, the Marvel DC thing, that sort of left a plate of interest. But anyway, all that's to say is it's great. Lately, things have been starting to feel like they're getting back to firing on all cylinders again, which is a real nice feeling. But at work, I can't draw digitally. There I use a Wacom, Intuos, and that thing I can't draw for shit with. So I usually just bring my own markers and brush pens and all that kind of stuff, and just scribble on the side when I'm, warming up or waiting for something to load or need an idea. And it's been feeling real fresh lately. So what I wanted to do was just make a zine, like just a little thing that I can make on my own, get it printed. See you, Deviant. Thanks for popping in. I appreciate it. Yeah, so I wanted to make like a zine just to get it printed and then put it out there, and it's just to get it out of my system. See if with the analog tools how a comic can kind of come together. Yeah, and anyway, Castle Dracula fits that bill big time. So yeah, gonna be working on that, changing the name and a lot of the stuff about it. Not a lot, but the inspiration from where it came from will stay, but there's adjustments to it. It's been a while since I looked at it, and interests change. But I'm really excited about it. I'll be sharing more. And again, for my patrons, there's a post tomorrow, a small post, with some process artwork of the picture that I posted today, and just sort of talking a little bit more of the direction and the reference and all that stuff that'll be going off of when I make it. So yeah. Yeah. Ben, that's what Comicsgate is about, right? Forced diversity. No, no, no. It's the opposite. Comicsgate is, from my understanding, the people I'm talking to, it's not that at all. Comicsgate is in existence because they because of, we'll say, Marvel, Disney, DC, a lot of directions people are going of forced diversity. Yeah, it's pretty much artists against forced diversity. Not that anybody has anything wrong with them, or anybody that is, I guess you branch in the diverse category. It's just when it's, forced political agendas and stuff like that, or changing characters and based on current political trends and that stuff. It's against that. I think there is a misconception for sure. A lot of people, I think the opposite. Like if you associate racism and all the crap, that is not what it is. You might hear it is, but like the cats I'm talking to, like I've known a good chunk of people that are specifically that I've known, man, before this was even a word, and that I know of anyway, that they're in Comicsgate and they're not this at all. Some of them, and again, I don't do names because I try not to do names. Sometimes it might slip or whatever. My goal isn't just to call people out. A friend that I've known since, Jesus, when would this be? This would be around 2000, no, not 1999, 2000, around there when I was in high school, just graduating high school. This guy is, gay as hell. And he'll tell you that too. He loves it. He loves it. The guy's awesome. The guy's a great guy. And he's part of Comicsgate too. And I'm not saying that just because he is, everybody is, but that's the flow I'm trying to get across here. Cookie, I would start a conversation about comics, but I have to leave in 2-3 minutes. Oh, you're probably already gone by the time you're hearing this. Okay, sorry. See you, April. I'll reply to your message tomorrow. Maybe tonight. We'll see. Keeman, as in Ethan. Yep, that same guy. PJ, looking forward to your... Thank you, man. Thank you. I hope you dig it. I hope everybody likes it. That'd be awesome. Michael, hell yeah, can't wait to see your sequential work. Always, thank you, buddy. And I've been I don't want to say I've been out of comics for a while. A lot of the stuff you guys haven't really seen. It's like mostly client stuff, and sometimes it's not even superhero stuff. Oh, I will say too, if you are a patron, I haven't figured out how I'm going to do it, but I know a good chunk of you. Like one of the things on Patreon is you can click a thing and see how much people have supported you. Like so if you supported me for a month at the $1 pledge, it'll say you've given me $1, right? If you've been with me for like 2 or 3 years at $1, and it's up to like, what would that be? $12 a month, so $36 we'll say for 3 years, like whatever that number is. I don't know what that magical number is, but you'll get the comic for free. Don't worry about a digital version anyway. The print stuff, we'll figure something out. It's just because of the shipping and stuff. But that's if I'm going with the zine route. Regardless, the black and white version, if you're on Patreon and you've been there for a bit, you'll get it. Or you could pick a different tier. I haven't worried about all that stuff yet. That's down the road. We just need to worry about making a book first. But I'm glad you guys are excited. Dark Gift, welcome, buddy. Saw your post today. Came to check your stuff out. Great attitude, great artwork. Thank you, dude. And Donald says you're cool and artist fire. Definitely. Thanks, man. Donald's a great guy. He used to back in the day with a lot of the streams we were doing. That guy was in a part of a lot of them. Really cool guy. Down to earth guy too. The only problem with Donald is he has this weird obsession, this weird ideology too, that like you do not put pineapple on pizza. I mean, that can't be right. He can't be that silly, can he? Okay, I'm going to just quickly do this. I know I'm just talking out loud here. See how this is all flat? I don't like it. I don't like it at all. So what we're going to do is we're going to just throw in some... let's get a bigger brush and zoom out a bit so it helps with liner. I just want to put... I don't think I'm going to do any heavy shadows, but just like a little something. Just to break up the shapes here. And like I say, this style that I'm working with for this project here, there's not a lot of rendering and things, so don't look too much into what you're seeing. We got to color this, and once we slap that color on there, oh boy, it's going to be sweet. Okay, and then the last thing we need is the fun stuff. We need some energy, right? Gotta have energy. So what we'll do is we're going to abuse digital, because that's what it's for. We're going to make a nice little energy ball, like so. And we will mask this, and we'll just do a little, And there. And then where do we want... I have this weird effect. Or not a weird effect, but this like energy effect. Here, here, one sec, guys. I'll show you. This was like the original drawings we were doing. Should we just show you guys these things? Jeez. Anyway, this is her here. You guys have no idea what I'm talking about. This is the other dude. Better. And again, with all this rendering and stuff, look, it's not my bag anymore. It was cool. That's for sure. This is the next chick we're going to be drawing here, the leader. And this is the guy where it's kind of like a celestial looking guy. This one, right? So these three cats, they're fighting this dude. That's going to be interesting to color. I've never really had to do Kirby coloring. This older stuff I always was a big fan of. Cool stuff. Man, so it's muted again. You know what it might be? Let me check. No, you guys can still see it. What? I found it. Guys, I found the muted button. It's my middle mouse button. What the fuck? Why is my middle mouse button toggled to mute? It's kind of good to know. Alright, now that I know, middle mouse button. It's mute. Alright, I'll have to figure that out. Okay. Is her hat like transparent? The effect makes it seem like that. It's just shiny. It's just shiny. Yeah, not transparent. I love pineapple and ham on pizza. The ham I could do without. Pineapple all the way. And you agree with him with no pineapple. Ooh, that's not good. PSA, corsets are murder on your organs. But they look real good. Found the mute. See? I know. It makes sense now that I'm thinking about it. If somebody came into the door or whatever, I could just quickly press a hotkey button. You know what I mean? I would have set it up. I just forgot. It's been that long since I've been streaming. So I can press that button, quick toggle on and off. You don't got to like fiddle with OBS. Where's the mute button? All that kind of stuff. Okay, now we're back on track. See, so if anything, what we learned today, guys, is middle mouse button. That's the key. Man, I wonder if... damn. I've been looking at a lot of John Romita Jr. That rendering he does is so good. I love John Romita. I'm just gonna show you guys here. I don't even like. I can't get it digitally, but traditionally, I feel like I can get it a lot better. Here again, I'm just really into this picture I drew. Imagine that. So I'll bring it up here. Why does my website work for you guys? Can you guys access my website, jonathanrector.com? I always get like an error, and I have to go to the Tumblr site. Pisses me off, especially like if people are trying to check out my stuff. Here, I'll post it in the chat. If you guys could be champs, I would appreciate it. This is just more of a tech thing. I'm not trying to plug my work or anything like that. Try either that one or this one. I've tried it at work. I've tried it at home on my phone. It doesn't work. It's like I'll click on it and like it's just privacy error. And I'm using Chrome. This is just bug stuff. Getting the pineapple on pizza with the jalapenos is so good. But basically turns me into a chemical. I love it. Alright, so this... Oh man, you caught me off guard with that one. This drawing, so much cool. You see this rendering here? This light to dark? Fuck, I love it. I apologize for the language all of a sudden. But, man, just very passionate about it. It's very nice. It's very nice. Yeah, see? Nobody's getting them to work. That bothers me so much. Okay, because I've messaged GoDaddy. That's who I pay for. Like, it's a Tumblr site. I just pay for the .com, and it's supposed to forward you guys there. And the fact that you guys, and I appreciate it, thank you for taking the time, that you guys aren't able to go there, that's a big deal, right? People that are finding me out for the first time, go to my actual website, and they can't.
That's a big problem. So I might have to look at it just canceling with them and going with somebody else, or maybe it's a Tumblr issue. I don't know. Well, thank you for trying multiple days, PJ. Appreciate it. I've been on their tech support 3 times last week, and they on their end they're like, it's fine, it's no problem. Of course it's not. Of course it's not. Anyway, what I was trying to say is this rendering here, I struggle. I can't seem to get it digitally. I don't know why. So let's just try it here. Let's rotate it so we don't snap up our wrist here. And we're going to flip it because my wrist doesn't bend that way. All right, let's try it. We're going to start with the... let's go light. Let's build it up. I think it's just because maybe I'm doing like less strokes or shorter strokes. There's no actual curve to my line here, so that's not going to look very good. Ugh. Let's take a look. No, ma'am. And I don't want the tapered line like that. You see how it looks? It's like a rectangle. It's like a Sharpie. I want that. I want some Sharpie. I was wondering maybe I need to just like pick like a big fat brush like this and then just go to the shadows first. Yeah, so we'll just scrape this in and 1, 2. Do it that way. I mean, I guess that works. Just doesn't feel natural. I'm just bitching a bunch here. Okay, I'm spending too much time here. Okay, let's save this up. Okay, Dark Gift. Thank you so much, man. It was nice meeting you today. I appreciate you talking, but I will say hello. Thank you. You take care as well. Okay, so it's not working for anybody. Cool. Why not do that Squarespace or whatever? Well, like I say, my site's just a Tumblr template. You guys probably see it's got links to other places online, which is all I cared about, and then it's basically my Instagram. That's all it is, because I feel like that's all it needs to be. Once I start maybe making some more books and stuff, we'll be changing it. And the .com that I bought just forwards you there, so it's easier than me telling people, hey, oh, you want to check out my stuff? Yeah, just go to myname.tumblr.com. I can just say myname.com. It's just easier. And through that, people can find YouTube and Instagram, Twitter, all that kind of stuff. That's all. But if the URL ain't working, I gave. Sorry, what was that, PJ? I was actually trying to show a friend your site the other day. I gave him one of your chibis as a gift, and he wanted to see more of your stuff. Oh, awesome! Thank you, dude. But I pointed him at your YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Yeah, that's fine. It's all the same. Some people say it isn't the brush; it's how you use it. But I say that's bullshit. Some people say it isn't the brush. It's yeah, I guess. I mean, there's truth in it. Digitally, I just can't get it to work. Like I've tried. What I use is like a zebra pen to get that effect. Oh, geez, that stabilization. Let's turn that off. Yuck. Right, because I'm looking for. You see how it's got this tail at the end? Unless I crush it like this. But then when I go light, sometimes you see how it's going light to heavy. I can't manage my pressure to get it like into a square. Because that's the trick with the Romita rendering, is it's not feathering. It's not this, right? I don't want to do that. There's nothing wrong with that. That's not what I like. There's something cool about drawing with a Sharpie. It's like this look, and I just gotta figure it out. I think I downloaded a brush that was like an actual cube, but it wasn't. I couldn't get the pressure sensitivity in there. So I can find it. Brush pen 4. Was that it? No. There's got to be stuff you guys could care less about, I imagine. Just get more artwork. Let's go. Turnip pen, maybe? That turnip pen might work. That might be it. Did we find it? Turnip pen 2. Did I already find it? There we go. I think that's actually looking a little bit more like what we want. So we need to go fine. So brush size, yikes, let's go this way. See, we're getting that taper back. Do not want that. Minimum value, maybe we can bring that up. Okay, I'm back. What were you guys saying there? Let me just catch up with you guys here. Does that line flick automatically? I know you can turn it on. I don't have it on. I'm trying to make sure it's definitely off. Walter Simonson has that line perfect. No, does he? Okay, I'll have to check out all these cats. I use a G pen for everything. The same for the branch out. You love that G pen, huh? I need something that'll help my wobbly hands. Hey, Sleep Now, welcome. You're coming in just as I'm about to wrap this up. Just trying to figure out a brush here. Hope you're doing good, man. Okay, let's just adjust that. So the G pen, I don't think there's a problem with the G pen. Is this? But this is the only problem I have with it. Again, it's got this taper to it. I don't want that. I want just like a thick, constant line. You know, it can have a little bit of taper to it. Maybe what we need. Specify amount of pen pressure by curve. Output pen pressure. So we want more pen pressure. Is that right? No, we don't want that because it's tapering. Let's go up this way. See, that's starting to look better. But we need pen pressure. We're losing pen pressure. Minimum value, let's just do 0, I guess. I don't know what the hell that means. Damn. See, now I can't adjust the size, my God. Just use a G pen and crank up stabilization. Oh, I think you guys are talking about your own thing here. So change scale pressure is minimum. Maybe we don't crank it up. Let's try this. See what I'm saying? Like when we get here, it's just going to be just a little unwieldy. Unwieldy? Is that how you say it? What if we do something? Let's just start getting weird with that. No. Nope. We're going the wrong direction. That maybe? And the other tricky thing here is to try to do it so you don't snap your wrist up. Here, let's get what we're trying to do on the screen. That way we can. This is what I like to do when I'm trying to figure out a brush. Is get what you're trying to do on here and then start figuring it out. Oops. Okay, so we're gonna go in here. What do we do? It was like here, I think. So if we can mirror, man, I gotta barely touch the screen to get that. It's closer. It's definitely closer. I know this isn't probably great fun to watch. This is how we're gonna wrap this up. If I can get this effect, I might not need to just do traditional stuff. The one benefit of doing this over traditional is it's quicker, digital, right? Turn that anti-aliasing off too. Keep it a little bit. Go here, and we can bring this a little bit. This freaking pen pressure. So when you guys buy brush packs, just know that this is all the crap that somebody had to go through to get certain settings. See, my pen pressure is not. This felt good up over here, but maybe it's my fault. I'm pressing too heavy on it. Maybe. Yeah, no problem, Michael. See you later, brother. I don't know how interested you are in Huion versus Wacom, but I picked up the Huion GT 221. Oh, glad I got the 220, and I was pretty upset. I'm glad yours is working out for you. Maybe just that 221 is the model I had to get. I think we can get what you want by just the pressure card. That's what I'm trying to do, but I can't. Maybe I'm not hitting the right thing here. What is this? Minimum value. Change percent's going. Okay, let's go the other way. Let's see what the hell that does. Oh my god, no. Let's go back to 8. Actually, here, just reset it. I think it's getting close. If you adjust it so it's mostly flat horizon, the middle might give you deadline type look. Like back where it was in the middle here? Like the default? Yeah, maybe that was it the whole time. I don't want the taper though, so maybe it's just the way that I'm actually... Let's put this to 4. I don't like that taper it's adding to it. I think this might be it. I just got to get used to using it.
cool like effect. Adds a lot of texture to things too. Like it really gives it. I know some cats already was showing it to some people, and it's just not their thing. They're not. They just don't like the look of it, which is fine. I'm not keeping this on her. I'm just trying some stuff out here. So you can really make things blocky and flat with it. But I like it. I want to. I think I'm definitely gonna experiment more with this. And again, those that might not know, when you look at it, it's from John Romita Jr. At least the way that I was introduced to it. My lines are all over the place on this one. Anyway, I'm going to save that. I'm going to fart around with that maybe later. Boom, 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 boom. Is there a pen pressure curve for weight that you can change? For weight. For weight. Is this showing up on the screen for you guys to see? Here, let me move this over here. Can I? I can't. Can you guys see this? I guess you guys can't see it, huh? Put that over here. If you guys can't see what I'm looking at, it makes it a little harder for you. So I have pen pressure with settings of pen pressure, but weight, no, I don't know where I would look at that. Stabilization, don't care about that. Opacity, definitely don't want to worry about that. Yeah, I don't know. Actually, here, maybe bring this so you guys can see it. Here, I'll leave it on the screen. This is what I'm looking at for brush size. Right? This is where I have it way up here. When I had it way down in the middle, it started getting tapered. The more down this direction was more of a taper to it. Up here was more where I want it to be, but it would get too fat. It wouldn't be like a thin line. Right? So like, to show you guys, this is where we're at right now, right? Which is where we want it to be. Maybe I could even go a little bit bigger. Just go lighter. The moment I go like over here, it does this, right? This is more what I want. Because this looks more kind of like a Sharpie. You know what I mean? You can do cool stuff with this one. And then when we go in the opposite direction, it starts getting into taper town. See that? I don't want that. Oh, and the panel, if you guys remember, Keeman anyway, if you remember Castle Dracula, this is his updated look. We're working on that comic this month. Probably take a couple months, but that's what we're working on next. I'm trying to mimic what I'm doing with traditional stuff here. It's so much easier when you have an actual tool that does it. It's just, the thing is, it's like a marker, right? So that's why it feels like that. It looks like that. It's more like drawing with a Sharpie. This turnip pen, though, like, it's got some promise, like the adjustments we did with it. Like this might even work nice too, right? Like a calligraphy pen. Get some really nice. It's tapered pen. What is that? Yeah, I don't want that. Anyway. Hey, Solar, how's it going, man? I appreciate the kind words. Thank you, sir. Oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, I don't
I don't know where we're going here with this. You know what? I should probably get going. It's 11 o'clock. I'm gonna be up in like an hour or two with the baby. Maybe like these pens. It's so tricky, man. You start kind of getting some momentum, and you're like, see, kind of like how the pen even does it, real nice. But if we were to like maybe see, pen. Whoa, what is this? Velocity. Whoa, 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 whoa. What if I turn this one up here? Let's see how that looks. No. What if we wound up that way? Okay. Minimum value, let's bring that back down here. Let's see if that helps. There we go. Damn tapers. Alright, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to be in here just fiddling with this thing. Here, let me actually turn all this crap off real quick. Alright, we're going to save this. And I just want to try one other thing before I take off with you guys. It's more for me. Selfish. Alright, we're going to merge all this stuff together. Press our magic button. Go file. Save as. Get it ready. Go here. Go color. That's ready for tomorrow. Cool. Alright, let's go here. I wanted to see. Why can't I? Oh, wrong file. Cover. Which one? Sure. Just for kicks for myself. Maybe turn up a little bit more. If we started adding a little bit of that to this here. Sure, let's start down here. So the line's way too thick. So I can just barely press it on the screen. What I like about this Romita kind of thing that he was doing, there's like no curves to these lines either too, right? It just makes things feel solid. I don't know, I just really dig it. And who knows, over time if I keep this going, maybe we'll end up using it a little bit more. Anyway, let's take a look at that, because I just want to... Fuck, that looks cool. I think the lines need to be a little bit thicker. They look a little too thin. Oh, excuse me, I had a little sneezy poo there. What about the Butcher King? Hey, Nimrod, how's it going? The Butcher King, what about him? Was he in Castle Dracula? He was, wasn't he? I totally forgot about that. Yeah, so I guess he'll be in it. I don't know if he definitely won't be in the first little story. That's gonna be more of a fun action rompy kind of thing. Tomorrow there's a post coming out. You'll hear a little bit more about the theme of what the comic is, so it'll make more sense. But yeah, let's throw him in. Keeman says he almost reminds you of T-Hawk. Is that a wrench in the bottom right of the tool property command? Okay. No, it actually opens up the thing that we were looking at. Yeah, no, this thing right here, it adds so much to it, man. It looks so cool. Trick is you want to use it everywhere. Like, I'm looking at all over this, and I'm like, where do I use it next? Like, let's go a little bit bigger with it. Maybe the neck. I'll have to play around with it more. I don't feel confident when I'm throwing these lines down. And they probably look that way. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see, guys. The thing is, too, right? Like, this. Where was it? Oh, shit. Where'd it go? This guy, right? When we're drawing him, there's other things happening here that aren't as detailed, we'll say, as something this. There's a lot of rendering that can happen in here, right? Like, there's a lot of... When you start messing around with this, and you're adding levels of gray, which this rendering is, or the transition from light to black, like white to black. When you start adding rendering into big complex scenes, it gets tough. This is just a pinup, right? I can throw it wherever I want as long as it's not where the light source would be, and you're fine. The other thing too is I find to use this correctly, you want a lot of open white spaces, and if you look like the shadow lines here, like where the shadow of his shoulder is, I'm just insinuating that with this rendering thing, which is a very useful tool. When you come into here and all that line art's already done in there, it ain't the same, right? Like here, I know I said I need to go, and this is a problem I remember when we used to stream, eh? We would always stream, and I gotta go. Let me turn off the inks here. Right, so when we just have the line art here. And if I was to, you see there's a lot of rendering in there. Is this brush going to work? No, let's use maybe we'll use our, this one. Yeah, nice curvy brush. But yeah, so I would just kind of come in here and go like, okay, well, here's where some shadow is going to be in here. In here. I can kind of block it out a little bit easier. You know, I can get like these weird shapes like that. I'll clean it up a little bit. And then when we go in and we add this, and you guys, again, you might not even be able to tell. This just might be me because I'm looking at it all the time. Which, if I had to guess, is the case. So long as we're going straight here, right? So we want all the heavy stuff down here. So I like to go light into dark. So if you just start here and just go real faint. As we get closer towards the shadow, just kind of go in there. And again, you could just start right here. I like to kind of ease into it. This is the trick when you're trying to implement a style that somebody else does. You know, again, I'll just keep saying it because I like people to know where I'm kind of getting this stuff from. John Romita Jr., go look at his stuff. And apparently Walt Simonson does this, so I need to check him out. But by doing that, I like the more of his stuff I look at, the more I can understand why he was doing things. So when you zoom out, right? So you see how that, I don't know about you guys, but to me that reads better. Reads like it makes more sense. Kind of looks like Wolverine's arm. It looks like hair, but that's because the lines are too thick. But you see what I'm saying? When I approach the style differently with a brush pen, I can slap in where I want that ink. So again, when I'm looking at this guy, I had big fat ink lines that I was throwing in here, which made it a little easier to understand what was going on. And it's easier to apply it here. Tossing it on over here when you got all this crap going on, it's very hard. Like, if you guys remember when I was talking, I'm like, where do I put it? There's too many open spots. Like, when you start picking spots, like, this doesn't make sense in his neck. But if it was up here, and we were to go, like, go back here, right? And you can kind of pick where, and again, I don't have light effects necessarily going on, but let's just say that light's kind of hitting here. I can pick where I want those shadows to be. I know that doesn't make much sense. I'm just trying to illustrate it. And then you can go ahead and, you know, do whatever you wanted to do up there. But anyway, I'm rambling now, guys. Okay, I got to take off. Hello, all of you awesome people in here and everybody that's coming in here. And again, a lot of new faces. So I just want to reiterate something here at the end. Thank you guys so much for popping in. We used to do streams a lot. But now that I'm a papa, still getting used to how life works with a baby. And not being able to really just freely stream with noise and stuff. Things are going to be a little bit different, but I'm trying to figure it out. Just bear with me, we'll get there. Try to stream when I can. If not, I'd like to at least record a lot of the process stuff I've been doing, and then hopefully narrate over top of it like we used to. If not, we'll just put some tunes. What else did I want to say about that? Yeah, I guess that's it. If I could, I'd like to get this on a structural basis instead of just randomly, but currently that's all we can do. So if you guys are following me on Twitter, especially Twitter, I post there, it's pretty easy, or on my fan page on Facebook. I post when I'm going live, so you guys can always follow that. And then if you miss it, it's cool. It's like automatically re-uploaded, so you guys can always check that out. And if you guys have any comments or questions, by all means, leave them in the comments. I always read those. And yeah, I guess we'll talk a little bit later. Let me just quickly catch up here. Thank you, PJ. Nimrod, yep, you're late. You're late like usual. It's okay though. Hey, Kevin, welcome. Ben, thanks for sharing your work with it. Hey, no problem, brother. Okay, thank you guys. And I will talk to you all later. And like usual, keep reading comics, keep making comics, and I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.